going on? My name is Conrad, and I'm a high school dropout. I left junior year of high school, received my GED, and now I'm an entrepreneur. I've had a chance to work with organizations such as the U.S. Air Force, the City of Los Angeles, and global brands like C4. I wanted to create this channel to provide insight and discuss the topics that you don't find in school, the ones that are generally found through experience or outside of formal education. One of the topics that I want to discuss is going to be entrepreneurship, and I know that they teach that in schools, but I'm going to be discussing what it's like to be in it, what you learn from being in it and going through trying to build a business. I'm also going to be talking about human potential. And this is something that I'm deeply passionate about because I believe we're all capable of more. Some people get stuck in this idea that they are who they are and that's never going to change. But I'm a firm believer that we all have the ability to develop ourselves and grow. It's just a matter of whether you're willing to go through it or not. And then how all of these tie together, which is something that I'm calling the modern education. I'm calling it that because for me as a high school dropout, I had to really take it upon myself to build my own education and then also pursue developing those skills in order to be successful in what I do. So before I dive into why I'm doing this channel, I also want to give you a bit of background on me so you get to know me. I was born and raised in Seattle, Washington. I'm currently living in Los Angeles. I've got 3 sisters, 2 of them are half. I have an older brother, half brother, and I have a younger brother. In total, there's 6 of us. I'm the middle child of the second set of kids. My parents divorced. That divorce started when I was in middle school, and it did not end until I was already 18, so I could choose whatever I wanted to do anyways. But the thing is, I had actually moved out when I was 15. I moved about 30 minutes south of where my dad was living, 40 minutes south of where my mom was living at the time. And I had moved in with a family of the girl that I was seeing. And during that period, I really just had to figure things out. Being 15 years old and not really having your parents around, you start to learn and be more observant. But by junior year, I made the choice to drop out of high school. I received my GED, and I immediately went into the workforce. I was delivering pizzas for some time. I was working in a warehouse packaging goods. There was even a short period where I was working at Jiffy Lube changing the oil on cars. I did marketing and sales for a short bit, also at an aftermarket car shop in West Seattle. I just worked those kind of jobs. It was basically whatever I needed to do in order to get by. It wasn't until a friend at the time sat me down and said, "Con, I think you're capable of doing more, so I'm not going to be mad if you stop coming around." And at that time, I was going to house parties. I was just sitting there drinking, hanging out, doing whatever. But that really sat with me, and it started my journey about turning my life around. And so I had been looking for a new set of friends just because I felt like I needed to change my surroundings. And what ended up happening is I ran into some people outside of a club one night, and one thing led to another. We became friends. They pursued music. I decided to pursue music for a little bit. And that led me to a couple different places. We had been traveling. I think we were in Los Angeles at the time when we first met. This woman named Sophia. She was a DJ. She still DJs. She actually told me, she goes, "Con, I think that you can do something more than this." She had introduced me to somebody that she knew from New York. His name's John. And he was in Seattle. I was still in Seattle at the time. And when we had a chance to talk, we just clicked. We became friends. He told me his story, and the story completely blew my mind. I mean, this guy was 16 years old when he made his first million. And me being me and the goals that I have, that completely stopped me in my tracks, and it got me thinking about what am I doing and where am I going and what do I really want. It wasn't until I was 20 that I made the decision to start my first business, which failed, by the way. That could be a whole nother video and the lessons I learned from that. But it gave me some perspective. And that perspective then put me on the path to say, I want to build something for myself, and I want to build something that has an impact around me. I just didn't know how to yet or what it was going to be. Fast forward till now, welcome to the channel. So I wanted to give that bit of background on me so that way it puts some things into context. Being a high school dropout, I was forced to evolve or dissolve. And that meant I had to take it upon myself to continue my own education, and through trial and error or through a mentor or by picking up some books is how I learned. So the purpose of this content is really to help create the type of environment where maybe you can thrive and learn off of some of the mistakes that I've made, and as well as also some of the successes. And then that way you can build the life that you want in the way that you want. And I'm not here to tell you it's going to be easy. This isn't one of those ads, one of those videos that's going to say quit your job in 3 months and make $10,000. And I'm also not here to sell you a 10-course playbook for $1,000. It's just not me, and that's just not my intention. I'm here with my experiences and the lessons I've learned from being a high school dropout, delivering those pizzas, working at the warehouses, changing the oil on cars, to then running a business that we have 6-figure annual contracts with global organizations. If you've been lucky enough to have had a real mentor, you would know that they're not trying to charge you for every second that they're talking to you and giving you advice. Chances are most of those people have reached a place in their life, financially, spiritually, that they want to give back and see someone else succeed. And that's what I'm building this platform for. I've been there. I've become aware of wherever I was at is not where I wanted to be. I've also been in the position where I don't know where to start or even how to. And I know that feeling of not knowing anything. But I also know the feeling of starting, taking that first step, but then taking that next step, and then that next step. Even when it gets tough and when the thought of giving up flashes through your mind, but then you keep going. I know all those feelings. I've been through those emotions. I've been through that roller coaster, and I still go through it, except at different types of growing pains. Every piece of content on this channel is going to be something that has helped me on my journey or is helping me on my journey. Whether it's intentional and I learned it because I needed to develop a skill or grow as a person in order to become what I needed to for the business and for myself to reach my goals, or if they were lessons that were forced situations, stuff that was unexpected and we had to learn to deal with and figure it out. It's going to be a wide range. So this channel is really for anybody who's looking to grow, anybody who wants to do something less ordinary, build a business, build a brand, build yourself. All of this is about creating an environment where somebody can thrive. It's growth over fear. You can check the business out called Painkiller. I'm going to be doing weekly videos. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll be checking back soon.